With that boy, Yadda dollar, now you show finished. Leave the scene clean, nigga, no flaws, no witness, cold ending. As I proceed to gripping wood wheel and corner bending. Now it's the last sentence, last word of your ending. No pretending, I don't fabricate or fantasize. Before I execute, I meditate and strategize. Sing your mama roses, hold the pain of passerby. I get the bread, that's the only way I'm pacified.
Carolina born from a Carolina breed. Welcome to Carolina where them boys stack cheese.
Hey, what's happening with it, man? It's your boy Yadda Dollar coming at you live from the Sweet Podcast Studios again. We had to come here a little bit earlier. I don't know if y'all gonna be able to tell from the window, the sun's still out. We still gonna give you this great commentary on hip hop, entrepreneurship, and inspiration. Again, I got my homegirl,
LT.
and I got my homeboy,
Sock, what up?
You know what I mean? We done did a little musical chair thing behind the bar. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make it happen. To get this thing started off, man, let's talk about, I guess, Will Smith. I don't know if y'all heard the Will Smith interview, but Will Smith said
Well, I tell you
a
what,
lot
man,
of things here lately.
Let's let them hear it, and then we get into it. You know what I'm saying? Let's let her hear what we talking about a little
All right,
bit.
this came from the Breakfast Club interview with Will and Martin.
From you,
just did it,
absolutely. And I was like, I can see. I looked at a little bit of your book too, and I was like, you know, I want you to know who you really are is enough. That the character can die.
Oh, technical difficulties.
Is I painted myself with Will Smith, right? And I realized that, you know, we have our childhood traumas and we have our experiences, and then we all create these characters that are going to be our characters that defend us in the world. Ooh. There's certain things we can't do, there's certain things we can't say, certain ways we react when people do something, and we create a character that we go out into the world with. Then that character wins some things for us. It's like, oh, we succeed by behaving this way. Then what happens, you get to a point where it stops working as well. And the reason that it stops working is because it's not true. That's not really who you are. And then you get backed into a corner, it stops working. Now the question is, are you going to be courageous enough and are you going to be brave enough to kill, essentially, the character that you've created, and are you going to have the courage to live as who you really are? And on my 50th birthday, when I jumped out of that helicopter over the Grand Canyon, that was kind of my moment for myself where I was like, I'm going to be who I am, even if it isn't in line with the Will Smith that people think I'm supposed to be. I'm going to have the courage, and I'm going to have the bravery to be who I am. You know, and it's like I've been watching you for a while, and that's what I was like, that was one of the things I wanted to talk to you about. I can see the mechanism happening in your mind. You're seeing Charlemagne the God as separate from you. Absolutely. And I was like, I can see. I looked at a little bit of your book too, and I was like, you know, I want you to know who you really are is enough. That the character can die.
The character can die.
That's a good way to end that.
The character can die. Now, it's all type of ways to listen and suck in what he was saying, man. From the gist of everything that I get, it's about staying true to you.
Yeah.
Period. Like, a lot of times we get caught up in trying to portray ourselves in a certain light, because nobody wants to show vulnerability in a sense, you know what I mean? So to be able to be who you are and stay true to you and be secure in what you got going on, that's a commendable thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's hard. Like you said, it's real hard to do because a lot of times when you show who your true character is, you already know a lot of the reason that you're hiding that is because people aren't going to look at it the right way. And you already know, like, they're going to view it the wrong way. They're going to look at me a different way. I may lose the friends I have. And like I said, who knows, even the job you may have or something. So like I said, it's a lot that, you know what I'm saying, you're sacrificing a lot of times with that. So like I say, you'll build up a character just so you can keep what you have. But I mean, to Will's point, I mean, I understand what he's doing. I mean, don't get me wrong, I feel is in a position to do that though. I mean, he's in a position to, like, I don't have to necessarily just put on anymore. Like, when people see me, if I want to be wild and crazy while I'm eating out with my family and everything, I can do that now and stuff without worrying about what the media gonna say or anything, because I mean, honestly, the man got it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't necessarily have to, you know what I'm saying? So I can't just be who the hell I am. But sometimes people aren't in that situation.
I took it as Will dropping one of them little Will Smith gems, because basically saying never be afraid to reinvent yourself. You know, you don't always have to be what people think you are.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Never be scared to step outside yourself and experience something new. Like, always reinvent.
The thing that stood out to me too is, like you were saying, you come up with this character, and then this character wins for you in a certain situation or in a certain place in your life. So you feel like you feel like you need to keep that character going. And I can honestly say, through growth, I feel like listening to what he's saying, you, even with the advice at the end, you still have to be true to yourself. Because even if you created this character and you won with this character, and then you deviate from that some type of way, if that character was 100% you, in the sense that you came up with it, you executed with it, you did what you needed to do with it, and then what's the word I want to say?
I just looked at it just now. You just made me think of something. If you create a character when you were 25, and now you 35, and you still that character at 25, what's your growth? Where's your growth?
But at the same
I guess
time,
it depends on what that character got you.
Yeah, well, what's your growth though? If you haven't grown from that character, if you still that 25-year-old character at 35, where's your 10-year growth?
I feel like it should definitely be some growth, but I feel like if you're true to yourself, what you went through at 25 was like a building block, a learning process, or some type of education for where you are at 35. But you still, like, if it's a moral compass or a personal compass, you still should be pointed towards you. I hope it ain't nobody, you know, I don't know if this is weird to even think this, but the only thing I can think about, like, is on the far side of the scale, would be Bruce Jenner. Think about that. Like, I'm not with that. You know what I mean? I'm being honest.
Like,
Was
the character Bruce, or was the character, what is his name? Caitlyn.
Yeah, like, that's weird to me when I sit there and think about, like, what he's saying, because granted, if you don't care, it's a certain level of freedom there, you feel me? But at the same time, it's like...
But still, it's still growth. He's still not that same person he was 10 years ago. I mean, we all know that person with that mindset that they were when you knew them 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We all know that person, so...
So, I mean, is the growth him transitioning to Caitlyn?
It might be in his situation.
Ah, man.
I don't
Honestly,
in his situation, who knows?
I mean, to me, that's not good.
I don't know.
That's a whole different situation.
Like I said, that's the far end of the spectrum. I don't know why my mind went there, but I was
I don't know why. I mean, honestly, I tell you like this: my perspective on what I heard from Will, and this is how I took it personally. I took it as Will Smith was somebody that basically he came from being a rapper to being the Fresh Prince. Then he had to transition on, and eventually he became that hero, that dude. If he's in that movie, he's that guy. And then I felt like at a certain point, and if you think about it, his characters changed in movies. And I think that's when his mindset changed on, you know what, man, I always had to portray that I have to be Will Smith, this certain character for everybody when I'm out, so that people don't look at me a certain way. I gotta put on Bill Cosby, you know, I gotta put on a certain character, you know what I'm saying? I can't sit back and show everybody my true self. But see, now you look at it like, think about it, on Suicide Squad. He wasn't the main character in that movie. You know what I mean? But he decided, I like this character, I'm going to do that. Aladdin movie, he played the genie. He wasn't the main character in the movie. Like I said, even just him taking roles like that, I felt like that's why he felt like I could step outside of my box now and just be truly me and who I want to be, instead of just always looking at it like I got to take that main hero role in a movie and stuff.
Well, this part of the show right here, I want to talk about your circles. Is your circle around you trying to help you out with what you're trying to do as far as inspiration and entrepreneurship is concerned? Or are they putting you in a situation where you have to deviate from your original plan? Are they leeching off you? A lot of times we look at our surroundings and we look at like friends and family, and they might say one thing, but when it comes down to it, when it's time for action, something else happens. Not saying life isn't real, because of course it is, you know what I mean, but how many times does this type of stuff happen? Like, is it a tendency in that? And I feel like for a lot of people, we allow ourselves to become bogged down in the emotion when we have a goal we trying to attain. And I just want to speak on like circles real fast. Y'all can talk about what y'all think on that.
Well, I mean, I kind of look at it as breaking it down, like, are the people that surrounding you bringing you up, or are the people surrounding you keeping you down? And honestly, basically, you can kind of look at your situation. Like, if you're successful, obviously the people that you're surrounding yourself with are, you know what I'm saying, helping with that. Because believe me, the people that you surround yourself with has a big effect on how your life is. You know what I'm saying? And so, if you're not successful, you need to necessarily look at the people you're surrounding yourself with. And I always heard a good way to do it is, if you're basically doing the best, I heard, out of the circle of people that you're surrounding yourself with, then you need to surround yourself with new people, because you shouldn't be doing the best. Because unless you're in this millionaire circle or billionaire circle, then that's a whole different animal, you know what I'm saying? That's a different thing. But honestly, I think you got to really look at that, because it has a big effect on, you know what I'm saying, how your life and your decisions are made by who you're surrounding yourself with every day.
Yeah,
What do you think, Lee?
Agree. I totally agree, man. You're only as wealthy as your circle.
Yeah.
Like, that's real. Like, your circle can dig you out when you need help. Your circle's gonna make sure you good. Your circle's gonna help you find jobs. I mean, the best way to find jobs nowadays, I hate to say this, is networking.
They say who is who you know, not what you know necessarily.
Who you know.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You're only as good as your circle.
Yeah.
Not trying to get in those circles, that's another story.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it's not even necessarily, you know, I look at it like, I'm a little older. I went through that phase where it was a whole clique of us, Wu-Tang Clan almost together, you know, and then it get to the point where everybody started taking their little paths in life, and then you start like realizing who was walking down the same path that I'm walking down, and then like, oh, okay, this person had my back, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. So I was able to sit back and weed out the people that weren't necessarily having my back and weren't my friends, and the people I shouldn't be surrounding myself around, because y'all not trying to grow. So I'm trying to grow. So, you know what I'm saying, all you really doing is blocking my sun, you know what I'm saying? So let me get away from you, you know what I'm saying? Let me get away from you. Let me surround myself with better people, or the people that I know is real. And so you don't necessarily have to make the best friends, but it's also about who your associates are as well. Like, if you sit back and see somebody that's doing well and y'all have a common bond, you can sit back and agree to stuff, and then just always reach out and contact that person and everything. So it doesn't necessarily mean we have to be buddy per se to have a circle.
Yeah, bro, you gotta kill that, bro. That shit gonna be on because it's vibrating all the mics. I think, like you said, I know when I was in the military, shout out to all my partners who I still in the group chat with, man. Like, them some of the realest boys I done rolled with in my life. And then I got partners here too, like you said, that Wu-Tang Clan ball game thing. That's kind of like a weird subject because a lot of the dudes that was in there come across one way, and then when you know them, it ain't necessarily like that. But as a whole, we definitely all tried to attain the same thing, and that was just success. You know what I mean? Success is measured
in different ways, in different people's
by
eyes,
different
man.
people, and you got different ways to calibrate it for what you think your success is. I honestly feel like a person who do what they want to do in life, it don't matter what they getting paid. If they doing what they want to do with their life, then they successful. You know what I mean? So now I'm not telling you to look at your circle as in, yo, you don't have enough money, you don't have enough money, you don't have enough money, I can't mess with you because I got more. It ain't about trying to necessarily be better than that person, but it's trying to be better than you. You know what I mean? You want to better yourself as you go along. And if,
At least can we come together and build something? Yeah.
The mindset of individual success, I feel like is old in the sense that we in a social media age, and nothing can really be attained by one individual unless you playing like a sport like golf or something like that. But even I'm just thinking out loud, but even with that type of industry you in, you still got certain coaches and certain people that help you work on your weaknesses to get to that next level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
You got your coaches.
yeah, I just want you
caddies.
just want you to look at what you got going on while you trying to attain whatever you trying to attain on this entrepreneurial tip, on this entrepreneurial trip. You know what I mean? While you trying to start your business or keep your business going, are you looking around at the people around you? Not are they in a position to be a weight on your ankle, like a ball and chain, or are they more like a ladder rung trying to help you step up as far as just genuine, what's the word, like genuine help?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's what I said. It didn't necessarily have to be a friend, but if it's somebody that you know is genuinely that, hey, you know, he told me he would help me out, and then he shows and proves, that's somebody that I feel like you need to keep in your circle. And because they're going to help you attain the goals that you want to achieve. That doesn't necessarily mean financial goals, because like I said, if you just wanted to be one of the best fishermen in the world, and you know it's somebody that's helping you do that because they are one of the best fishermen in the world, you need to keep that person in your circle so you can attain your goal and be that. So like I said, that's exactly, you know what I'm saying, how you should view it, at least in my eyes.
You got anything to say on that, Lee?
No, get your mentor. They're important.
Word.
If you want to do something, find you someone in that industry
That's real.
so you can see what they're doing. I mean,
You gotta learn from somebody.
yeah, you gotta learn from someone.
Yeah.
I mean, none of us come in knowing anything. We gotta learn somewhere. So
Yeah, see, that's a lot of things that like people don't, they feel stuck in their situations because they may want to do something, but instead of reaching out and finding somebody that knows how to do that and they can learn from
they're
that.
trying to do it by themselves.
Either that or they just don't ever do it. They just never do it because they just, oh man, it's too hard to go do that, man. I would love to be a sports anchor or something, but I'm just like, well, go achieve that goal, man. It's never too big.
Nah, just
One
don't
thing
sit
I
here.
realized since I gotten older is no dream is like unattainable. Like when you're younger, it might seem far-fetched because when you look at all the grown-ups in your surroundings, you don't see that NFL player, that NBA player,
Yeah, that real successful
or that
person. Yeah.
successful person in general for whatever you're trying to do. So one thing I realized is like when you put in the hard work and the dedication, you got the mindset that you want to keep pushing forward. It's almost like something's going to get put in your place to where you can get to where you're trying to go. But you got to be ready to pounce on that opportunity. And the bad thing is a lot of people have that opportunity come that way and then they don't be ready to pounce on it like how they should be.
Yeah, man.
But
Yeah.
man, I'm going to go ahead and be honest with y'all. We was supposed to have some people on the show. They flaked on us. So we had to come and do what we needed to do to make the podcast happen because I refused to go a Tuesday or a Thursday without giving y'all the sweet podcast. So if you see us three up here, we giving it to y'all like how, you know what I mean, we going to.
Hit the like.
Hip
And
hop,
subscribe.
entrepreneurship, inspiration. Like she said, hit the like and subscribe button.
Hey, look.
Hey, it's the sweet podcast.
Damn right, you know what I'm saying?